I moved to Mallorca, Spain, 7 years ago. This is the third country I'm living in, having moved from my home country, South Africa, then spending many years in Germany, and then leaving Germany 7 years ago to come and live here. There are many reasons why I chose to live on this beautiful Mediterranean island, and we'll go into the positives first on why the island of Mallorca has become so popular, not only for tourists, but for digital nomads, retirees, and many others who value the significant advantages you have compared to most other capitals in Europe and North America. Beginning with the positives, Mallorca has some of the world's loveliest beaches, just off the main tourist hotspots like Magaluf and Arenal, which is more for the party-going tourists. You find some lovely places for nature lovers. So if you just look at the cost of living, it's quite amazing. Just comparing the prices, London and Palma, which is the most expensive part of the island. For an inexpensive three-course meal, you can easily pay only about 14 euros compared to at least 23 in London. And a meal for two will set you back about 50 euros. And the price of a flat white is about 2 euros, 2 euros 50, compared to about £3 to £4 in the UK. If you are a European Union citizen, it's relatively easy to move from one European country to the next. It gets a bit more complicated if you are a citizen from a country outside of the Schengen zone. Tourism accounts for at least 75% of the island's total income. In 1960, there were around 360,000 visitors to the island, compared to 14 million today, and the number is still rising. Most of these tourists come from Germany and the UK, with an increasing number also coming from the United States. Now, the growing mass tourism, of course, is having a major impact, and I'll get to that a bit later. Now, the island only has about 1 million permanent residents, many of them from mainland Spain, but also many from other European countries. Now, the huge number of tourists coming here in the summer months and the increasing number of digital nomads living here has, of course, pushed up rentals in the main metropolitan areas and priced out locals who earn far less than a digital nomad would. And this is creating quite a pushback from the smaller villages, which now also are affected by the growing rental price increases, where landlords are forcing old tenants from moving out when they realize they can get up to 3 times as much for their rentals. Roads were built many years ago to cater for much smaller cars, literally the size of a donkey cart. And today you're having hundreds of thousands of cyclists pouring in here during the months of April and May, having to share the roads with vehicles, buses, trucks, and people going about in their normal daily routine. And this is straining the local roads to a great extent. You literally can't find parking in the big cities during the summer months. And of course, you have a dry season here in the late summer months, starting from about the middle of June going through to September. And there is just not enough water for people, especially visitors, wanting a daily shower or a shower every time they come from the beach. Of course, there is a pushback, especially if you look at the property prices compared to other parts of Spain, with the Balearic Islands now on top of the list, with prices in the main city, Palma, now at about 3,800 euros per square meter. The prices in Palma are now no different to other European capitals. If you're looking at towns and villages further inland, you are looking easily at a price of between 850 and 1,000 euros for a two-bedroom apartment, with the price of a house or a so-called finca starting at about 1,500 upward. Of course, also simply rent a room, which you would then have to share with other people, and prices there start around 350 to 400 euros for one room, where you'd have to share a kitchen and a bathroom with other tenants. So many people come a cropper here because they didn't prepare their move well in advance and came here with a very naive idea of how they could set up a new life here on the island. You have to, and this is really essential, have a game plan before you even come here and ensure that you have a regular income coming your way before you even start your plans. Just simply coming here in the hope of things working out simply won't work. So is living on Mallorca a good idea? Bottom line is the island still has so many good places to live, but it's reaching a threshold where things could get very expensive in the next few years. And I fear, and I have my concerns, that this island might become a second Monte Carlo or Ibiza. But at the moment, definitely a place where life is really very beautiful and still worth living if you have a regular income and if you can afford to live here, if you can afford to buy a property, or if you can afford relatively high rentals, then definitely it's worth a move. Mallorca has so much to offer in terms of excellent healthcare and an excellent infrastructure where you can fly to any European destination within about 2 to 2.5 hours. So very good flight connections in summer and winter, which is excellent for people who have to visit family members or go on business to, say, London, Berlin, or Oslo. For me at the moment, I'm sort of hanging out here, as good as it lasts.